Good afternoon, Peg Larson here, and John Call will not be with us today because he has laryngitis. And we're just going to give you a little idea of what's going on with the huge omnibus bill that has education and environment and everything else in it. The money part of it has not been dealt with. They announced the other day that they have to wait until the tax bill, which is tax bill number 2 that does the property taxes and does rebates, and the bonding bill, which actually uses a chunk of cash this year instead of just bonding. Until those are resolved, this omnibus bill and the monetary part of it will not be known how much they can actually use. And the House and the Senate in education are $100 million apart. They think what will happen is the House has $58 going to the formula, and the Senate has quite a bit of money going to early childhood scholarships, that they'll probably cut both areas, and that way they'll save quite a bit, and then they'll pick and choose small amounts from other things that are in the bill. One of the things that's very interesting that the Senate has, they have breakfast for all kids. House does not have that, but both bills have in there that children who do not have the money will be fed a decent lunch. And the other thing, they have a pilot project for vision screening. So that's in the Senate only, except for the lunch piece. I'm going to read to you the parts that they have gone through that are identical. And I have to say, I'm sorry now, this is going to take a minute or two. But what they did is they went through both bills, took the House and the Senate side, where the language is identical. They adopted all House side, just be consistent, I suppose. But they have talked about pieces that are not in one bill or the other, but they really haven't taken much action or any action on those things. But they've had the authors come in and explain why they put that piece of that bill into the omnibus bill on one side or the other. And that's where Representative Johnson, Alice Johnson, has the vision piece and the breakfast piece. So they'll make a decision on that, I'm sure, after they see how much money they have. They have agreed on reserve revenue, levy recognition, learning year pupil units, extended time revenue, regional equity gap, district equity gap, transition revenue, referendum equalization levy, referendum aid guarantee, referendum revenue, board-approved referendum allowance, definitions that they have, and current year aid payment percentages, alternative attendance programs, revisers instructions, which is nothing, revenue amount, initial achievement and integration revenue, incentive revenue, non-resident tuition rate and other costs, special education initial aid, cross-subsidy reduction aid, special education aid, excess cost aid, out-of-state tuition, adult basic education, supplemental service grants, and program revenue for adult basic education. And the reason why I read this list is the language on both sides are identical or just maybe slightly off by a word, and they just took the House position on all of those. Now this is Omnibus House File 3172, if you want to look it up. It's quite a lengthy bill, but the education articles start at 16, Article 16, and go through about 23. They're spattered through the last couple ones. It's been very interesting to watch it work. It's been very, very slow. They have met every day this week. They're not going to meet this weekend. And right now, I think they're going to meet on Monday. It's at the call of the chair, which you don't know whether they're going to meet or not when it's at the call of the chair. One other thing that's very interesting is the insurance bill for schools. John Call and I have been working with Denise Dietrich to make sure that there are senators on the DFL side that will stand up and say that they will not vote for the bill after it comes from conference when it's not amendable, that they will not even vote for the bill unless the self-insurers are out. Now, in the Senate, Senator Bonoff did in Finance Committee take schools that are self-insured out of the bill, but on the House side, they're still in. And Representative Aaron Murphy will not accept that language. So it's not going to happen in conference committee at this point, at least. We can keep working on them. But we have a list, and Denise has a list, John has a list, and I have a list of senators that we're going to work on, knowing that their school districts have probably contacted them. We're not worried about the Republicans because more than likely they'll vote against it, but we'll make sure that Senator Nelson and Senator Senjum know, which I'm sure they already do, but to try to get at least 10 Democrats to stand up on the floor and say, I will not vote for this bill, and send it back to conference committee and take the self-insured schools out. At this point in time, that's about all that's happening. The education policy bill, which is very different from the House and the Senate, is going to be starting to be conferred on Monday at noon. So we will let you know how that goes. I hope you have a pleasant weekend coming up, and we'll see you soon.